Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Just rolled into Lake Lonsdale, a little camp next to the river. You saw the van pull up there. Heaps of space, goes for about a kilometre down the waterfront, all the way along the lake, and you've got heaps of sites to choose from. I was hoping to get one right against the water's edge where I could roll the little Truekit Discovery inflatable in, but they put fences up and bollards all the way along. You can probably see over my shoulder there, there's an access point down here. It's got the bollards in front of it. This looked like the easiest to get to the water. The van's just over my shoulder, it's just up there. So I'll bring the inflatable down, the Discovery down, drop it on the beach and inflate it down here, and then just have to haul the outboard down as well, which will be fun. But yeah, I'll just leave the boat set up down here and have a few days on the lake. It's gonna be pretty cool. Do a bit of fishing, probably turn into boating, but we'll see how we go. Yeah, so she's a rocking little camp. It's well set up, good fire pits, despite being full of rubbish. Thanks, you grub, whoever you were, but I'll sort that out later. I'm going to cook on that, so I've got to fix that. I don't want plastic and baby wipes in my food necessarily. Sort that out. But yeah, it's just in amongst the trees. There's about a kilometre of campsites along here, along the shore. You can see the lake out there, and that's the Grampians in the background, towering over us, which is a really beautiful vista. Going to have a few days of sunshine, occasional cloud, no rain, bit of wind around though. It's blowing from the northwest, so I've just moved the van a little bit to try and block it off the fire pit, and hope the lake doesn't get too choppy when we get the boat out there. Put in a few hours out there during the day and see what we can catch. Yeah, tune in later. Oh, she's looking a bit better in there now. Look at that. Like a new one. Got a heap of wood as well. Went for a bit of a drive. Found a patch in the forest that was all standing up by young kids for me, which was perfect. Picked up all the rubbish. I've just found a very nice surprise. There's this little spot here. There's a picket there and there's a bollard pushed over there, but that's wide enough to get the boat through that gap. So I'll be able to pull it through here. And look at this. The fence just cuts across this little gap. Someone's just pinned it up, and the boat will go straight under it. So I'm free. I can get straight down to the beach from the campsite. So that's it. I ended up putting the extra shaft on, as you saw, just to get the motor away from the fire, but also the fire was too wide, well, not wide enough for two stands and too wide for one stand, so that's what we ended up with. You can see the chips rolling around in that basket there. I reckon we're going to be eating at 3 o'clock at this rate, but anyway. I'll just rearrange the fire now a bit with a shovel or something and try and get the heat under that chicken. It's currently all under the chips. Just grabbed the chippies off. They were getting close, so I took them off, and yeah, the chicken's looking awesome. I reckon, like, it looks like it's cooked almost, but I reckon it's not. So we'll crank it for probably another hour. I reckon I've got an hour of daylight tops left. It's probably about 4:30, 5 o'clock. It's very mesmerising sitting here watching this, drinking a beer. that vista in the background. Oh, I reckon we're looking good. Let's get it off. Get in my belly. Just check inside the section next to the leg there. If there's any red in there or any blood running out, then probably needs a bit longer. That looks pretty damn good. Imagine the light's not so good at the moment, but I'll just carry on. Yes. All right, taste test. Parson's nose. Spot on. Very happy. Check that out. I'm gonna go eat it. Check in later. Yeah, magic wand, eh? That's the way to go. Saves me heaps of time. Just thought I'd run through the boat setup. Get a lot of questions about it all the time, pretty much on every episode it features in. So I'll just do a quick run through of how I set it up. It's 4 meters long. It's a Discovery 400 from Truekit, the New Zealand company. Just a few of the things I've added to make life easier. I just bought these on eBay. It's a cheap Chinese thing. They are quite hard to get into, especially if you haven't got much upper body strength. I mean, I can get in, but in an emergency where if you fell out and clocked your head or, you know, injured your shoulder or something like that, I think that's a good bit of precaution just to have something like that in there. You can also clip it off to these ones at the front here and get up over the bow, which is good as well. Haven't had to use it, but it does feel strong and it feels like it'd last when you need it to. I've got these bags from AOS. It's Aussie company. They make a lot of gear. I've got quite a few different things from them actually. I just keep all of the safety gear in here, so there's a couple of, well, depending on how many people in the boat, there's enough life jackets in there to suit. I've got this safety bag which has got fire extinguisher, flares, whistles, all that stuff, and it's also got the repair kit, that orange thing. I won't get it out, but there's an orange container in there. It comes with the boat. It's got all of the repairs for the boat if you manage to puncture it. I also bought a foot pump off eBay. No, it was off some Whitworth's Marine actually online. It's about $35. The recommendation from someone on Facebook. The fitting is exactly the same as the fitting on the Truekit pump. So it just, because it folds down flat, packs away neatly, it fits in my bag. I can take it on trips rather than carrying the big Truekit pump out on the water. Yeah, just a couple of life jackets in there you can see. I've got a bag that I just carry the anchor in. I've just got a small, almost like a kayak style anchor, and I made my own. Made my own rope holder. Just a basic anchor. There's also a spare kill switch for the motor in that bag as well. It usually lives in there as well, so I can get all that in one container, especially when I take a life jacket out to wear. I've got a Dometic 43 litre cool ice. These aren't cheap, these Eskies, but they're bloody good. The reason I liked it is the height was perfect and the width fits the Disco 400. And with these little straps, I pull the handles up and connect them off to the side here. It doesn't slide backwards and forwards, holds its position, which is really useful. I've just screwed off rod holders to put the net and the rods in. Some cheap aluminium pliers with a little holder that screws off to the side, which works quite well. And around the other side I've just got one of those bait knives, also on a loop, just stays in the side there, keeps it out of the way. I've also got another one of those straps, a bit longer, which I put through the tie-on points here. It goes through the tie-on points to stop them rotating and undoing, but also goes through. Truekit have got a little clip shelf thing there that you can put the strap through as well. So if it ever does vibrate off and the motor falls, at least it's still attached to the boat and doesn't end up in the bottom of the ocean. Although it'd probably be knackered at that point anyway, but worth trying to maintain it. I just run the Truelock Railblazer standard, the ones that came with the boat, the rod holders. What else have I got? When it's only me in the boat, which it will be today, I put as much as I can at the front. I've got a seat, obviously the Truekit seat that goes between those two grey things, but I don't often use it unless there's someone else in the boat, because then you've got a clear walking space. I usually put the fuel at the front. The Tohatsu line that came with the motor reaches all the way to the front of the boat, which is great. So just a little rubber Oki strap thing clipped around there. It doesn't move. Never had a problem with that. Never jumps around, never moves. So I'll run with that for now until I come up with something better. What else have I got? I just usually carry a 5 litre at the back there with a bit of fuel in it in case I'm not watching this one and I run out. That's about it, I think. Yeah, so that's how I set it up. It's still a work in progress for me. You've got to move things around and get the balance right and get the best outcome you can for getting the right plane and easiest glide on the water and so on. I put one of these perma-trims on. There's a whole video on that if you haven't seen it. That made a big difference to cavitations and removing those issues. Yeah, that's about it. I'll probably get in the water and have a bit of fun. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention, I just got one of these recently. So it floats. It's a UHF and a VHF CB radio. It's IPX7, I think, rated, so submerge it to a depth and it still keeps functioning. I just fully charge that. There's a charging dock station that lives with the car or the van. I just charge it fully, throw it in the esky. If I ever get to a spot where I've got no mobile phone reception or I dump the mobile phone and something's gone wrong, at least I can put out a call for help. Seems to work pretty well. I also use it in the car actually because I haven't got a proper UHF set up in there yet, but I'm about to. But yeah, it's been a good stopgap for that. just cut across to the other side of the lake. It's a bit windy. I forgot to bring the microphones with the wind protection on them, so might be a bit of a windy session. But yeah, this is the opposite side of the lake, and I reckon these trees will form a bit of structure. I'm freaking out because I don't really know how deep it is. The sounder would be very useful right now, but I think what I'll do is just kill the motor and start flicking plastics at structure and see how quickly I'll lose the plastics. Not the most successful fishing mission. It's hard to tell from here, but it is seriously choppy out there. Not the most comfortable boating conditions. Sort of better come back and check on Woody Dog. I've never really left him like this before. He's chained up to the van. I just want to make sure he's okay. Might have a bit of lunch. Hopefully this wind backs off a bit. If not, I'll just fish this bank and cruise up and down, I guess. Get my tackle sorted out again because it's all tangled, but yeah, at least I didn't fall in. It's Woody the dog. Hey mate. He was snoozing, obviously happy. Alas, the old wind has not let up this evening at all. Starting to get a pretty good sunset happening though. Yeah, so pretty lazy afternoon, just chilling. I'm planning to get an early one and then get up and at it right on sunrise. The forecast says the wind picks about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, so I'll try and get a few hours in before then. Should be good. It's the next morning. It's absolutely freezing and I'm wearing shorts with Crocs. Yeah. No use wearing dry pants that aren't dry, so might as well just suck it up and get in there. There's hardly a breath of wind out there. Looks pretty amazing. Did some research last night. Trolling hard bodies seems to be the go here, so I think we'll just sit around, just cruise around at idle speed, try and hook up to one, see how we go. Yeah, it's pretty glorious out here. Obviously quite chilly and fresh, but it's got a couple running out the back. There's a couple little hard bodies and the old Tohatsu just sitting on autopilot, chugging along. I think this is pretty good trolling speed. It's so comfortable in the Truekit. I mean, especially in this sort of water, it's so stable to stand up and walk around. It doesn't flex or tip at all like a tinny does with a V-hull. Yeah, it's awesome. Anyway, here fishy, 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 here fishy, fishy, fishy. I know what you're thinking. How is it possible that he hasn't caught a fish? I know, right? I cannot feel my fingers, I cannot feel my toes. I had to put my dry pants on just to stop the wind chill factor. Yeah, not much action. I'm just cutting through the middle. I've gone all the way around the perimeter, all through all the trees, dead trees, everything. Right up close to the trees, structure. Tried everything. Different speeds, pretty much at idle, and then a little bit of throttle, and whatever else. The only thing I haven't done is go right through the guts of the lake. So we'll just cruise back to camp, which is towards the sun over there, across the middle of the lake. Maybe do a bit of a zigzag and come back again. And if we get nothing, I reckon we're going to call it, and we'll be having sausages for lunch. This tastes better than fish anyway. Stupid redfin. I think I'll head back out a bit later on. Give it another go with the sun up and see what happens. And I'm chucking it in. Alas, yet another fishless mission. Been out 4 times today, probably a total of about 6 hours. Got a wet backside a few times. Tried every lure I've got. Tried scent attracting stuff to put on them. Tried different speeds. Did the entire lake. Crisscross circles. It's been fun, don't get me wrong, but yeah, still no fish. Anyway, time to pack it up. It's going to rain overnight, so I just want to get it packed away, dry, and be ready to roll out of here tomorrow. Yeah, it's pretty good. These wheels are pretty good, but across really soft sand like this with everything in the boat, that's a mission. Like, I was dragging it that far and they killed me. So to get everything out, leave the outboard on obviously, but get all the weight out of it, and then it'll be a lot easier to pull up the beach. So piece by piece back to the car, and then come back and get the boat. It's still going to be hard. It'll still be a hard pull for that section through there, but should be able to get some momentum and get it done. Done. It's all dry and tidy. You can see in there, it's pretty clean. A few grains of sand, but nothing to be worried about. Now just deflate it, let it sit for, I don't know, I like to leave it for 10 minutes if I've got the time, which I do today, and it's sun shining, so we'll just pop them all and go and have a beer. And I'll come back and show you the final fold up piece, which has its own tricks, but yeah, I'm getting better each time I do it, but it still seems to be twice the size it was when it turned up from the factory. But anyway, we'll get there. Back soon. Just chucked the microphone on, so hopefully you can hear me. I'll just leave the camera set up over there and come over here and do what we need to do. So there's a few tricks to this. You want it completely deflated, as I said. I've actually got a this blower goes reverse as well, so I can put it on the other way there and jam it in the holes. It'll start sucking air back in and filling up a little bit, but it does help get that bit out. It's not absolutely necessary, but I do find that it does help with the process a little bit. Next bit is just to get the transom down and the wings on top of the transom like that. And obviously as you're going along, just keep checking there's no moisture or dirt. The other trick is to get these black sections to be facing up. Makes a big difference if you can do that. So they form the edge then of the fold. I've got a fair bit of sand on there from sticking to those black sections, so I'll need to brush that off before I pack it away. This bit's a bit of trial and error. I always forget this last bit, how it's supposed to work. There's a trick to it. I'm pretty sure it's 2 folds from this end. Like that. And then 1 fold from the other end. Just a bit of sand on the bottom. That's not too bad. Not my best, but certainly not my worst. Job done. If you do it thoroughly, it's probably a 20-minute job, I reckon. If you were rushing it and not cleaning it properly, you could probably do it in about 10 minutes. And I think if you're just taking it from one spot to the next, you could easily just slap it in the bag all rough and ready and off you go. But storing it away in the caravan, it'll sit there for the next week or 2 before I go on the next trip. So make sure it's clean and dry and all good. I'm going to have some dinner, a few more beers, bit of a snooze, get up early and bugger off. So we'll call that the end of the episode there. Another fishless mission, seems to be the way, hey? Hope you enjoyed it though anyway. Bit of info on the Discovery 400 and pretty amazing spot as well. Tune in hopefully next week. I'll have another episode up just about another trip I'm doing soon, and please subscribe, helps out the channel heaps if you haven't already. Any comments down the bottom, hit the like button, all that really helps the channel. But anyway, I'll check in on the next one. Cheerio for now.